happen all in one company. I think that's like super interesting. That's why we experimenting and implementing more and more from that, and I think it's a very interesting territory.
Hi, my name is Mura. I'm from Peru, and I come here in Barcelona for more than 15 years. And I work, and I work in the hospitality sector for more than 10 years, and I come here just for curiosity to know about how blockchain works in the hospitality sector.
Hello, my name is Raiko. I'm from Spain, from Canary Islands. Been living here in Barcelona for 5 years now. And I'm the front desk manager of a little hotel chain called Urban Hotels in Barcelona. And I discovered a bit of blockchain thanks to them, to the course they're doing. I really like how they explain everything to me. And now I get to get more deep in this new technology that we're having, how to implement it in the hotels and the hospitality chain.
Hello everyone, I'm Ruben. I've been working for the city, and I've been working in the hospitality sector for 6-7 years approximately, and now I have a startup, online, learning online platform where we are focused on emotion and social skills for hospitality sector, like Rico, just according to the profiles like Albert too. To be honest, thanks to Albert and Gianfranco, I know about a little bit of blockchain and NFTs, and that's why I'm here, focused on learning a little bit more about.
I'm Gustavo, but on Web3 I'm fan of, and I make having tiles for the metaverse. And yes, since 2021 I'm doing this stuff. And I don't know, I think it's a very interesting way to, I didn't find it yet, but how the one symbol of a city can help all the people around or in the city that we can say. So that's what I'm finding with the project. And let's see where it takes us, right? But always with respect. This is important because I know it's a symbol for Mexican, or I live here. And it's important to keep it first, the respect for the culture and the traditions of every city. In this moment, Barcelona. Here I am.
So I'm Xavi. I represent the Barcelona Hotels Association. I'm working there as an innovation manager. We lobby for hotels in the city. We represent the vast majority of the hotels here in Barcelona, around 450. Regarding crypto, NFTs, etc., I thought I knew something, but if you see my account, I don't know anything. Maybe most of you feel this the same. And I want to learn how to introduce like Web3 and cryptos, etc., into the hospitality. That's why I'm here today.
And hi all, I'm Santi Abreu, here from Barcelona. I'm working here at the Gallery Hotels chain, partner of Albert. And well, I'm very new at crypto and blockchain. I don't know nothing, so here to learn something, and let's see.
Alright, I'm Lena, I'm from Poland. I'm Gianfranco's girlfriend, and I also have no clue about metaverse or what I'm talking about. It's just a lot of the subject present in our house now, so somehow I just like to present in this, and no experience in hospitality either, so just saying something.
Alright. So, first, since we want to explore a new type of solution for the hospitality industry, we think it's interesting or it's interesting to start analyzing what is the current state of the hospitality industry, the ones that we work. Maybe we're going to ask some questions, we want your participation, to see how we feel about certain things right now with our sector. So we can raise our hands, we'll see how the questions go.
So if we want to
innovating something, we have to start it how we are now, why we want to innovate. So we are going to ask the first questions. Just raise your hands, whoever thinks that the commissions that you pay to travel agencies at the moment are worth the value.
The ones that think it's worth the value, can raise their hand.
Anyone? No? If anyone who doesn't raise their hand wants to explain why it doesn't worth their value, it's fine. What you want to share.
I don't see why the middle person, the middleman is in this case, travel agency nowadays, you just don't need them. And the persons that are in them, it's a niche at this very moment, and I think soon it's going to exist. But it will exist in another form.
Okay. Great.
All right, and from the people who work in hotels again, how many, for example, if we try to contact our guests, can we contact 80% of our guests directly? Raise your hand if you can contact 80% of them. I'm not gonna raise my hand because I can. 60%? 40? 20? So yeah, we want to look for solutions where we think that from now on there should be less friction between accommodation providers and guests, for the contract.
And the third one, how do you feel like whoever feels that the marketplaces have innovated in the last 5-10 years? Please raise your hand as well.
Do you think like there's been innovation?
Innovation in those marketplaces?
Charlie, you are innovation?
Yes and no, I could say. Like there has been new solutions, new softwares, new tools, new whatever. But if we talk about the marketplace itself, I think it's kind of the same. Or they are trying to, getting back to the first question, to justify this percentage through different methodologies.
Yeah, we're trying to focus on the marketplace innovation. It's true, there is a lot of travel startups, tech startups, which are doing great. But yeah, we're focusing on the marketplaces. We also feel like there could be a bit more pushing in the last 5 to 10 years. There hasn't been much change in terms of that. Hello.
Hey, sorry guys.
Don't worry. If you want to introduce yourself, you just started.
Hey everyone, nice to meet you. I think I came here through Vincent, and I'm basically I was at Polygon before we became Polygon. I was the head of marketing at Matic. Did the whole rebrand from Matic to Polygon, and now just building communities, bringing some large Web2 companies into the whole Web3 space, and big travel fan myself, and very excited by the hospitality industry. And yeah, my name is Arun Phillips, if I missed that. But yeah, nice to meet you on that.
Maybe you explain what is Polygon.
Yeah,
oh yeah. Oh yeah, maybe different crowd. Yeah, so Polygon is basically, if you guys know what Ethereum is, it's like its own blockchain, but it's just cheaper, faster, more affordable transactions. So with use cases where you need to make a lot of transactions, where your users can't be paying very high fees to make a transaction on the blockchain, Polygon comes in there, and basically large enterprises like games, all of them can make millions of transactions for very low costs, and helps you scale your product very quickly, in a nutshell. But yeah.
It's a technology that will allow everything that we will explain.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, so it's time for change. No? If we didn't raise our hands because we didn't see innovation and we don't justify the commission that they are paying, it's time for change. We want direct connections with our clients, as we said, and this will give us an option to do it, like we have this connection.
We also want fast, secure, global payments with not much intermediaries or middlemen. Well, actually, you can tell the story about this.
Yes, actually, we have I had an example. I was doing a reservation 2 weeks ago in the hotel. They were coming from Argentina. Do Do you know how much time did I spend to do the reservation? Hours or maybe days. Because they had to justify why they were paying, I think it was 2,000 euros, so long stay, why they were paying 2,000 euros to an accommodation in Barcelona, because they want to travel. So I had to do a special reservation and special invoice and special letter. The travel agent had to justify everything with the ministry in Buenos Aires, etc. So we don't want this type of distribution that you have with countries like Argentina, for example. We want just fast, secure payments, and not to spend the whole day just on a reservation.
And another solution that we think this new technology is going to bring is open source platforms. When we talk about innovation, we feel like the current marketplaces or many of the big players are closed companies. They're not letting small travel techs connect with them through APIs. So there's no innovation building on top of the current state. So with this new technology, which is open source at most, we'll be able to build more innovation, new solutions that build on top of each other and create things that maybe right now we don't even know. So how do we get into all this new technology? How do we enter into Web3? I don't know if, some people have introduced themselves, we know that you might know what is the entryway. Usually it's not email, it's not Facebook, it's not your LinkedIn account.
Wallet.
Sorry?
Wallet.
It's your wallet, yes, there you go. So, very quick, how many people don't have a wallet here?
Don't have?
Don't have.
You can raise your hand easily. You don't have a wallet here.
In the
How many people do not know what wallet is?
Exactly. So, okay, your wallet is your entryway. It is pretty much your access point into these new technologies. It's a way to,
You're gonna scan the code.
yeah, so you
going
can,
to download.
yes, so that way you can get the price at the end that we gave you. That if you don't have your wallet, you're not gonna get it. Easier access to Web3 applications. It's also going to be your private digital identity. It's where you're gonna be able to connect to many different platforms and applications. And your asset folder. This is where you're gonna keep your assets. So we're gonna do a demo with the phone, but we can connect the phone to show you how to do this. So I'll show you guys how to set up your wallet later. Okay?
Or if you like, just in between you, just explain them how to do it, like help them how to download and create the account, and then
Yeah.
make it easy.
So since it's better of us, we'll just keep it and
Okay.
then that will be your wallet.
Once you have the wallet, once you have your wallet, you are welcome to Web3. This is the first step to access this Web3. He was, Gianfranco was saying about the assets, that it can hold assets. So,
Sorry. Before, if we want to go back and even back before.
yes.
So let's say we're a hotel, right? And how will this MetaMask play out in a hotel website, on a hotel Web3 site? For example, how we envision it, and we don't have the truth, no? But it could be this way. We see, I go to a hotel site, I like what I see, I'm looking to make a reservation for Amsterdam, for example. And when I start looking for rooms, the website is going to ask me to connect my wallet, right? So it's going to connect, my wallet is going to connect, I'm going to accept. And then the website might see, for example, that I am part of their exclusive membership club for digital nomads. And they're going to give me personalized offers because they see from my private digital identity that I'm part of that club. They don't necessarily know who I am because I didn't sign up with my email or anything, but I signed up with my wallet and they saw that I'm part of that club. And then when I want to make a reservation, I just click reserve, and because my wallet is also my asset folder, has my money in it, they're just going to be able to finalize the reservation without me putting my name, my email, my credit card, all these things that we have to do all the time when we're booking something when we travel, or maybe we'll get a scan the QR code in the reception or in the tablet, and then we'll actually register our details, our name. But the booking process through these applications will be less friction. Will be good.
And some of you might think like, okay, but you have the Google button, no? Sign in with Google. But you are always giving information to Google, more and more information, and you don't know what they are doing with that. So this is privacy as well in your identity. So what type of assets can our wallet hold? What can we have in our wallet apart from cryptocurrency that we can have as well money? So we can have, for example, these are examples for our own wallet. This is an NFT from ETHBarcelona from a coffee. It's a project. It's actually the coffee that they were having in the ETHBarcelona Congress. And they have a project that they are helping the farmers in poor regions in Mexico, maybe, and another country in Mexico. And then what they do is fair trade for the coffee, and they pay directly the farmers with the blockchain and Web3 technology. And then I have this as a proof that I had one of their coffees, that I bought one of their coffees. I can have as well. This is, for example, my future avatar for the metaverse. Okay, it will be on 3D, and I can access on Zoom meetings, for example. I will have my avatar, and for the next metaverse, I will have it. I have this pixel thing. Well, actually, it's a triangle. This pixel thing, the human thing. I don't like the art. It's a pixel. It doesn't matter, because what it really is, it gives access to our community. It gives access to a special advantages. Gives access to some promotions. To other, it's like a ticket. No? It's not the NFTs. It's not the art itself, not the picture. It's what the access that gives you. We have as well, for example, this one. This one gives me access to libraries of books that I can register on this library with my email, password, etc. Give my details and have access. But just to have the NFT, I can access to that. So it's that easy. They know I have my NFT, and then I have access to all these books. And I have my own domain, for example. I have abelpere.crypto, that is my own domain, and decentralized domain, like .com or .xyz, which is our website. So we have .crypto, .eth, .wallet, which is decentralized, and it's unique, and I have as well my domain.
And you have
Yes, our. This is POAP. This is the POAP that we were giving with the podcast. The last episodes in the podcast we were giving POAPs. It's kind of it's a type of NFT that's proof that you were in an event. So if you listen to our podcast live, we gave you this POAP, and it's on your wallet, so you can see that I saw or I heard this podcast, or I'm in an event, or I'm here today, and then you can have a POAP proving that you are there. Or I've been in a restaurant of the hotel, or I've been, and this is where it comes to the hotels. Imagine that if you have a special room that famous Mick Jagger slept in your suite, and then you have POAPs. And then you can prove if you book and you sleep in that suite, you can give to the guest a POAP saying that he slept in the same suite that Mick Jagger, for example. So it's a proof that you've been in a place, in a meeting, something like this.
Or also, for example, if let's say we go into the same example as before, that you go into the website of the hotel, you log in with your wallet, maybe I'm not a member of the club, but the hotel sees that I have the coffee NFT, and then maybe they can have the special coffee from me in my room, so they are getting to know my preferences. I'm communicating what I like, what my preferences are through what my digital property is. And maybe since they know I have this that I like to read, they're gonna recommend me a nice library, modernist library in Barcelona to go read my books. You know? So it's a way of communicating what we like. So we are gonna be able, as hotels, to personalize our offers more when we have access to this kind of thing.
Because the assets that you have on the wallet, they are public. If you like as well, you can have several wallets. But imagine you can have your wallet, your public wallet, and you want to have. I want people to know that I like this coffee, but I don't want people to know that I'm from this community. So I don't have this on the wallet, but I have this one. I have those one. The hotel can check, see, personalize the stay, and it's better for both, better for the customer and for the experience.
So we were talking about POAP, which is proof of attendance protocol. That last drawing that we had there before. It's a way of certificating that you've attended an event or that you participated in an experience as well. So if you scan those, you're going to be able to download the POAP app. And then with your code, the code that you've gotten when you came in, you're going to get a POAP from today that has actually a gift. It's random, there's 3 different possibilities. So, and later also we can all do it together for the ones that don't know how to do it. But we feel like this is, for example, one good example for hotels. POAPs could be like proof of check-in, for example, you know, to give people a proof that they were in your hotel, or for a tourism experience also, that you were part of a different tourism experience or something unique. Through POAPs, we're going to be able to keep those memories of real life events in our digital wallet.
So for those who doesn't have the POAP app, just scan to download, so later you can have the POAP. We'll reveal which one.
So yeah, what more can we do with this technology, or what kind of experiences we can create? This is what we just talked about. Is very, very simple, very basic. We think there's a lot that can be created. The frontier is, we don't even know where it is. We're pushing it all together. And what we like also about this kind of technology is that it allows for co-creation, for collaboration, which is what he was saying, and actually a great way to let you guys in speak now and show us what kind of experiences we can.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. It's always tricky. So yes, as I little introduced before, I'm Angela from Explorers, and we're gonna talk right now, as Gianfranco just said, you just talk about, guys, that this is a beautiful moment because we don't know everything, and it's about collaboration, it's about community based, and it's about innovation and creative, in creative models, let's say. For us, this moment is all these connections are about the change, and the brand experience is part of. This way, Explorers is an app, but also a hub, a creative hub where we build interactive experience. This is going to be important sentence, let's say, for the next slide. But how we build those experiences, and we're focused on our 3 pillars. There's going to be there is technology, social, and culture. The technology is the way where we allow people to access and also to connect and be part of the experience. It's the channel. The culture is everything. It's the storytelling that builds the interactive experience. No worries, we're going to see examples, so you will see how everything makes sense. And the social, because we feel and we see, and part of our values and exploring is we need to build teams that are conscious of the territory, of the community, of the people that have that are in risk from NGOs on the neighborhood. So we need to think as a community, but also how we make a social impact with our creative projects. Okay. And as a part of this commitment, we are a startup or pyme, I don't know how to say right now, with very important certificates around the sustainability in the tourist sector, but also in the private sector, as is the BCOR and the OSFER that is together with the Barcelona Sustainability. And right now we are part of one of the acceleration programs of the European Union called ETHBarcelona, where we are being pushed to get better about the sustainable tourist, urban tourism projects that we develop. And I say this because it's really important, because it's part of our values, it's part of our business model, but it's also part of how we are seeing right now the blockchain. And for us, the experience that we build are based, as I say, on the culture of the territory. We connect creative artists and creative communities with the technology, but all these experiences are also having are adding an important value to the territory. For example, in the big one, in the Barceloneta, it's like a tunnel. This is an AR model, building an experience where when you walk to Pelay Virtual Gallery, that's the gallery, you can unlock this AR model. As soon as you unlock, you can buy as an NFT, and after you buy as an NFT, that money goes to the artist, a small part to the platform that is fair, and to Tot Rabat, that is a foundation in the heart of Rabat neighborhood. It's a beautiful but complicated neighborhood that needs a lot of help, and that money goes to that foundation. And this is that's so crazy how a foundation that is doing a social job can be part of the blockchains and business model and new technology. I took 2 months explaining how it is, what is a blockchain, which currency we are using, because of our certificate we need to also take decisions about sustainable ways to use sustainable connections. That means that the currency that we use has to be also sustainable. So we are using NIR protocol as one of the ones that have this carbon neutral certificate. But back to the user case. How the new technology as the NFT can connect a social community or a social foundation with local artists, because there are 15 artists from Barcelona. When I say from Barcelona, they live here, but I'm from everywhere, because we believe in projects that have a diversity from the heart, from the beginning. So we'll find Venezuelans, we'll find Spanish, we have Polish, we have German, and from Argentina also. So the diversity, the art that is in this case is this tunnel, or in this case is the famous in Catalonia, Teta Mundi from Marina Salazar, and as soon as this is settled, give value to the foundation, to the territory, and also is making people that doesn't know what is blockchain, what is AR experience or NFT, we know where is it, AR experience, but we haven't, not everybody have done this. So we democratize this experience to more people. It's making more people be part of. Also, with the price of the NFT, we suggest to the artists, because they decide their price, but we suggest let's put this down. Let's put this down because we want that people participate. As we buy a physical article that we don't use again after we buy, maybe this is like, oh, I will put my money here because I think it's interesting and it's helping others. So this is the foundation. But from then to now, we have realized that that we need that this NFT experience, as we call, have a utility. And we see on the tourist sector that the most important is to see the blockchain as a way to connect all the different stakeholders in one moment. Oops, sorry. Yeah, you can do that. No, because I did this. To connect all the stakeholders in one way that I make the reservation and then I go to the hotel. I have the experience inside of the hotel, but the same NFT allows me to all this process, okay? With the hotel, and then I get the experience on the territory. I have an impact on the territory in a social way that with the donation or with like being part of activities, because this is my ticket to go into that place in Ateneo del Raval, to go into a special concert that is doing only the neighborhood of Rumba Catalana, like to build all the experience and make all of them participate and having giving the value and having a triple impact in tourism. The sustainability is where the tourist sustainability is when we give this value to the people that is actually building that experience and being part of the territory. As a cultural sustainability or social sustainability also when you help to preserve that community. So that's what we are doing with the experience. We are making people closer to the territory, to the culture, and then the perspective that you have from that city is going to change because you're gonna know better, you're gonna feel it better, different. So connected, thanks to the wallet. And this is an example that we just filmed with Vladimir and the team, and it's called Enter to Win. We love brands, and we play with where's the values of the brand and how we connect that with an experience that shows the people, the soul of the brand, but we have been selling, you know, that's what we do. Like the experience as AR, or in this case, marketing experience, experiential marketing, as a way to connect. This is we call it inspiring on the brand, and the new way to connect and interactive way to connect with the accommodation. So Enter to Win, you will have the QR code later. Enter to Win is an experience that offers a new fascinating tourist opportunity where we discover new in a new hybrid format of cultural experience, Barcelona. In partnership with Explorers, we are. We brings you an exclusive journey that connects the most emblematic places in the city with AR experience between them. Basically, when we go to, that's when we're creating Explorers, digital asset or digital product that can be on the platform or inside of the application of the client. So when we go inside, we can select different parts. Right now, this was a very no pilot. It wasn't a pilot, but was a little bit in a rush for the time. No? Like let's do it, and that's how we build it. So how it works? That's better slide. So you go in, then you choose the route. There's only one route. It's this one. You click and you go there. And when you choose, you can start the route. In this case, we wanted that the first stop, or it's not the first. If you are here and you enter, we'll show you the closest one. So we do modular projects, and it's not always working the same way. For example, the virtual gallery, the first virtual gallery that we create, you need to be there and you need to walk in an order. But in this case, we don't need it. It depends of the client. It depends of the objective. We change the models of the app. So as soon as you arrive to the place, you click. And you will see the AR model you open the AR and you just, the 3D just appear. In this case, it's a really nice domo in front of Magba, and you can walk inside, and in each 3D model you find a concept. In this case, the concept was the DAOs. What does it mean? So we try to link the education and the things that we don't know, because it's everything new, so don't feel bad about the things that you don't know, because this is so fast and it's a lot of information, and yeah, it's about to make community about learning all this process. And after you do all the experience, you have your fantastic pub from Panop sitting down there. So this is the thing. This was the let's say the basic experience, but the idea is like, what about if this girl that has the experience is connected because of the accommodation, because of wind, is connected with activities inside of the territory that at the same time are connected to the social foundation, that the same that is connected to the transport. You know, like how we can link all of that, making, not because wind is gonna do now all of this process, making experience. No. The guy doesn't need it. You have, for example, experience that is connected with your accommodation, and it doesn't be you don't need to drive all of them. It's about making community, you doing with your network, and try to make all the people win. It's more about everybody can win on this, as we can see the blockchain as utility in the sector. And that was an exercise, sorry. So this one is just to see faster where are the places, the stops, what happened when the people discovered the 3Ds. So as I say, in each stop is a concept, and in each concept we try to show the key points that Wind3 is given to the user, and how that can be connected with an experience in an hybrid format. So the first one was next to the venue, the second one was on the beach, thinking, oh well, people would like to go to the beach, which value we can bring them, and in this case was a really funny and tricky thing, because we say in Barcelona before were las barracas, no? These really humble houses that were on what we see right now as a beach, and we say like, what happened if in the past, because of the NFTs and like because of this model, people from this place will be able to participate on this model, so they will have revenue, and then maybe they won't be that poor. You know, like, what if in the past will be this technology, and actually thinking, if you don't give the 15 or 25% to the accommodation, where is going that money? It's going to stay on that communities, on that place, and it's going to help people, of course. Well, the Maca one that I just showed you, so let's bring to a place where if you have been living here, you know that it's a really interesting place where it's a DAO. This is a really DAO. Decentralized autonomous organization, Plaza Magba is a DAO offline. Why? Because they are skaters, the guys selling the samosa, the police, the tourists, the mom with the kids because they're just going out of the supermarket. It's like, in this place happened everything, and at 12 in the midnight, everything disappeared. Why? Because the police came and nobody said a word. This is really interesting, the dynamic. It's an offline dynamic. If you are there, you can see it. And the DAO, but they have their rules, and it's organized, and everybody knows what to do. So anyway, it was an interesting way to put the city connected with the new concept. So that's what you find. And the Ciudadela again, I didn't explain. And the last one is a really interesting store where we participate as creating the AR experience inside of the digital soft store, and you can visit anytime. It's here in Carrer Bailén, and you can visit with the experience of entertainment. So this is what we do. We connect the values and can be for the public sector or for social project or for brands, hospitality, and we feel that we are very flexible in this way because we sell experience that connects from impactful, sustainable methodology, connecting the culture, the people, and the places, and the sector, the social sector, with experience that allows citizens to see the places, the urban cities, in another way that actually is making an impact. That's our goal. Making an impact in a really nice way where you are just enjoying a city and the values and the culture. But what about if we use this blockchain, because for us it's since the beginning of the year we are using and exploring a lot about on it, and we see as a huge opportunity for the sector and for all of us to connect the culture and to connect it with to develop impact for everyone. So I will just close my mouth. But thank you. And this QR code is for the wintry experience. It's not. I mean, you can go to exploring. I didn't want to share all the projects that we have because it's not the place. But if you are curious, you just can text us or do something. But yeah, this is what we do, and I hope you enjoy. It's open, and yeah, I hope you like it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah. Any questions? Sorry.
I would just like to add that the main idea of all of this is that the people doesn't just stay in the phone like this. With this idea of exploring and the sector, you invite your people that come to the hotel to go out and know the city, but with the opportunity to give him or give her a benefit. Yesterday, I went to a party on a hotel on the 7th floor, and the only way to enter was having a POA. And the POA, the only way you can have it was checking on several places under an event, Ethereum event. So, because crypto is absolute privacy, you cannot have this POA. So the people, only the people that do these kind of activities have the reward. So in this case, imagine that you have your people from the hotel and you give them the opportunity to have a special dinner or room or I don't know, or party. And the only need to do is to go and visit these 5 stances. But the main idea is that they learn about the city, they learn about the culture, and not just stay in the scrolling moment of, cool, this is me drinking. No, you learn about the city. And this is the main idea, how the hotels, the tourism can push with technology, make the bridge with culture. So I think it's so important, but right now in the Web3, it's starting. And right now it's like, what I see, trust. This is absolute the future because it gives the people the power to create community only for the interested, not in the masses. Only the people that get interested in something will get the reward. Okay, that's the only thing I want to add.
Yeah, and to continue, just like to wind up this experience. Yesterday, I did all the 5 places from the experience for us, and it was really nice and interesting. But what we didn't count that at the event like Ethereum Barcelona, people are focused on the conference itself. So they stick to conference, they listen to speeches, and they stay there in the place. And like this is a lesson to learn for us, but still it's cool to have it all. And I'm super glad that we are together here and like talking and explaining all these things. And me personally, I enjoyed. I enjoyed all the places. I enjoyed going through, especially in Valley. It was like where skaters that were there. It was just like in the evening. It was the place that you feel a bit thrilled. But still, it's, again, this is Barcelona. Two faces of Barcelona. These here, there, and it was a great experience for me. Thank you so much.
And I also, I totally like what you said, because it's very much a question of coordinating those different stakeholders also in different timings, right? Because if you do it within one system, it's a matter of coding. It's easy. But then how do you jump from one system to the next one? How do you have one experience in one hotel and go to the next hotel, and you're not necessarily part of the same company, but you just have an arrangement without making a medallion? How do you connect that one with the local cultural sector? When we started, we always had in mind this, let's bring together local businesses with the cultural sector with some donation part. Without the token thing, it was super complicated, like directly from a communication point of view, right? Because they were like, yeah, sure, you're donating it, right? And then how do you bring together those agents without making, okay, now we create a company together? No, that's not working. And I think that's like super interesting. You can have now an experience with us or with anybody else, and then you can move that experience as a token or whatever to a different system without making a whole integration. I think that's like super fascinating. It's like, wow, we can do everything.
Okay, Vincent.
Yeah. If anybody wants to grab a drink, feel free. There's a lot to take. Yeah, so Winso. Winso was started, what was it, February, we started coding, more or less. This is a new platform of WiningTree. WiningTree is enabling travel with blockchain solutions since 2017. Right? We were one of the first companies to jump into Web3. Let's take you through it. First of all, what do you think? Do crypto travelers spend more or less than the average traveler? More? How much?
Up to more than 50%.
More than 50%? Okay. Anybody else, I guess?
Depends on how is the crypto.
Exactly. So, one latest research in 2020 by Forrester Consulting, 40% of customers that pay with crypto spend twice the regular credit card amount. You think about that for a second. To me, that's crazy. This is an open opportunity for any business, not only service providers, but any business, to start looking into these opportunities. Right? If this is not the motivator for a business to at least try and see what is out there, I don't know what is. So, what is the current state of the travel industry? Currently, we have self-booking tools on your own website. We have TNCs, GPS systems, OTAs. Then we have channel managers, PMS, and for short-term rental properties, we also have cleaning service, security service. They're all intertwined. What do we propose? Peer-to-peer instant connectivity with blockchain and self-server identification. Right? This is what we're working towards. It's not out there yet, but this is what we envision. I'll take you through Win.so, what we're currently doing, what we've done in the past since the start of February. The pilots that we've run and that we're currently running in Barcelona. The travelers were focused on the competitors, the roadmap, and how it actually works. Win.so. 3 pillars. we save money. We save on average 15 to 20% commissions per booking. We provide hoteliers, any accommodation provider, the option between 1% or 4% per booking. We open you to a new market. We gain you access to a growing global crypto market of 300 million plus users, as we speak. And the third one, we build together. We decide with the community, locals, hoteliers, any private accommodation provider, and builders, coders, software developers that are actively contributing to our project, what the strategic decisions are. And we touched upon this earlier, DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. It's coded into the smart contracts and into the organization of this DAO, how the decisions or who to vote and how much does each vote weigh, right? We can't have 300 hotels and 10 travelers on the platform because all strategic decisions will obviously go in favor to the hoteliers. And we also can't have the other way around, right? For only people that are working from the platform. So those are challenges that we're facing and we're actively working out. But this is where we're going towards. We just want to avoid the situation that we're currently in, having OTAs, and we don't have any power as an accommodation provider to challenge the status quo, the commissions, but also the brand hijacking. Anything that happens on the platform, why don't accommodation providers, and especially the early adopters of these platforms, don't have a say in what is currently being done? The pilot. We partner up in April this year in Amsterdam, now in Barcelona, and the next in Paris for ETHBC conference as well about Ethereum and blockchain in general, right? The test partners, what did we do? We DoubleTree by Hilton, Zoku, a very innovative concept in Amsterdam, the Meridian, but also smaller hotels. My family-owned hotel, Hotel Herbert, Gallery Hotel, of course, Hyatt, Pulitzer here in Barcelona, Regina Hotel, and Pulitzer Hotel, Plaza Catalunya. The results so far, right? As we speak, we're still piloting. Right? We had an exposure of 9,000 people overall at these 3 conferences. Right? We gained revenue 23,000 euros for the hotels, and a cost for the hotels 600 euros over 23,000, and we had 110 nights. Right? So the platform works. The platform works. We're receiving bookings. We're actively contributing to Web3 in local communities and to accommodation providers. Right? The travelers. So the travelers and the customers of this new platform, right? What do they look like? And numbers, what are we talking? How many people are we talking about? So currently we're focusing on only conferences, right? And why? Because at these blockchain conferences, everybody has crypto, right? There will be maybe 10% that even that they don't have crypto. It's highly unlikely. So every traveler and every attendee of these conferences are able to work with crypto, and they can't pay with this crypto anywhere other than investing in another coin or yeah, it's very limited the usage and utility of these coins, right? In real world assets. How they book in advance. Well, actually 1 week, over 50%, 55% book 1 week in advance, very last minute, meaning that they don't really care about the price, right? They don't mind paying a little bit extra as long as we can pay in crypto. That's a high benefit, important benefit. Stay criteria, more or less the same with any conference attendee, right? Location, price as the second, and reviews from the website. The market, we just quickly touched upon it. 2021 it ended with 200 and estimation 295 million users globally. Now in 2022, 300 million. 33% of crypto conference attendees spend 200 euros plus per night. Relatively high prices. Then this came out of our own research. And 22% of US consumers plan to use travel for travel, according to research from last year. So what competitors are out there, right? So with our own platform, we have ETHBarcelona, we have obviously Expedia and Booking.com. And what does this mean? What do these actors mean, right? We have vertical high cost per booking, right? Booking.com obviously at the higher end. And on the x-axis, we have degrees of power, right? And with degree of power, I mean price parity, brand hijacking, data monetization, listing visibility, as a accommodation, as the point of view of the accommodation provider. Some new projects, Traveler, for example, already accepts crypto payments for accommodation providers, and they have a very good API, so they integrate with all the PMS systems. Still, they charge 15 to 25% in commissions. Their entire databases are centralized. You basically have the same problems that you had with Expedia, Booking.com, Airbnb, and Google, right? eTravel, these guys are a side project, actually basically the same investors of Traveler. Interesting project, certainly worth looking into. And Big Data, they focus on non-refundable hotel bookings. Nevertheless, are relatively expensive in terms of cost per booking for the hotel. Right? What I said, 1% or 4%, relatively low, and as I just explained you how the decision process will take place in the future, and currently what we're doing now, right? We offer high power for the accommodation providers and early adopters. Our roadmap, we ran a pilot. We know what the challenges are for us after doing these 3 cities. Right? And we decided that we want to start with an education program. Initially, we didn't think of this, but as time and the pilot showed, there's a lot of explaining to do. The Web3 community is in a bubble. It's a tunnel vision. The words that we use were way too complicated for the average hotelier. And fair enough, you know, being a hotelier is tough, and especially after the 2 and 3 years that they had. Why would you invest in this? So we're trying to break it down, simplify it, also with the guys as well, what you guys are doing right now. And the education program will strictly focus on, okay, what are the key things that you need as an accommodation partner to join the platform, right? And they can use this in Web3 in general. Nevertheless, the point of the education program will strictly be join the onboarding of the platform, so they can use crypto. They know what smart contracts are. They are able to receive it. And that's why we also had the option of 1% or 4%, right? With 1%, we say to hotels, okay, look, we recommend you taking the 1% option. You're in charge of the crypto in that case, so you would have to handle it, you would have to exchange it. We will guide you by hand, step by step, and lead you through this Web3 journey. But it's simpler said than done, right? So a lot of accommodation providers understandably chose for 4%, despite what we offer, basically, right? So in order to get to that 1%, which we originally started this project on with that vision in mind, we want to start an education program and enable them to choose that 1% and enable them to handle crypto with care. Second step, we would launch our MVP, our second version of the MVP, so to say, in October. The 1st of December, onboard 100 hosts, so any host will be incorporated. right? From hotels to co-living, to hostel, private apartments, and that's really how our product is designed, right? And then in July 2023, we aim to have product market fit from also the user side, right? How it works. Very quick rundown of how it works for a traveler. So buying crypto as a traveler, you enter 10 euros amount, 10 euros. So 10 euros, and this is a Swiss-based startup. Right? You choose the cryptocurrency that we're currently using, which is, let me just stop it right there, which is a stable coin, and I'm not sure if everybody is aware, but a stable coin is pegged, linked to another asset, a collateral, right? And in this case, the XI is pegged to the US dollar. Whenever the US dollar fluctuates, the XI goes up. $1 is one XI. In comparison, Bitcoin and Ethereum and other alternative coins are not linked like that. They have different mechanisms of work. Also, the benefit of this and why we chose this, two things, right? Hotels can't pay their suppliers in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or anything like that, right? That's just not how it works currently. Hopefully we'll get there, but currently that's not the case. Second, XI, this coin runs on a different procedure, so to say, protocol than Bitcoin or Ethereum. With the main benefit of that is that the transaction fees, the gas fees, are 0.0001 XI. So you practically have no transaction costs. If you look at Visa, American Express, Bitcoin, Ethereum, runs down from 2 to 4% per transaction. And American Express, 3.5 to 4% in some cases. So you have almost no transaction fees when you receive a booking through our marketplace. So you buy the XI cryptocurrency, you select your wallet, your MetaMask wallet, right, where you want to receive it, and you send 10 euros or whatever, how many euros to the bank account of this famous service provider, and you will get it in between 0 and 5 days on your MetaMask, on your mobile wallet, right? So making a booking as a traveler on Wind.so. So this in particular is for Paris, actually, Wind Paris. Let's see. So you connect your mobile wallet, your MetaMask, right? You check that you received the 10 XI that you just transferred. Yes, it's there. Select the dates as a traveler. This is restricted to the conference, right? As we're running on the Paris conference. Takes a bit of time to load. So single room, double room. Okay, the sun room at a general boutique hotel, right? This is a demo hotel. Book for one XI as a test. This would be 120 XI, which is $120, right? You connect and sign the transaction in your crypto wallet. Right? Very easy. Just takes a few seconds. You confirm the transaction. And you have your token 3, your NFT, the 3% reservation. You can, in the future, you can immediately download your QR code or your confirmation that states the date, states the XI right here, states the most important information. You can select what you want to know, right? So neighborhood guide. The hotel information, whatever you want, seamlessly. So what now? education program, right? And I know we don't have any a lot of individual hotels active here today in this meeting, but that's what we're aiming towards to. And let's join the journey to Web3 in the travel industry. That's it. Does anyone have any questions?
I do, yes.
Yeah, please.
I remember now once you just made the reservation that it was like 2 clicks and done.
Yeah.
You don't have any names, emails, nothing. And talking about communication with the guests, that wanted to make it the most easiest possible and avoid all intermediaries in the middle.
Yeah.
How can the hotel connect to the guest then if there is no email, telephone, nothing? You connect through the wallet as well? Maybe to ask some questions or?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So what we're aiming towards to is that indeed what you just said, there are solutions that exist that communicate wallet to wallet, decentralized messaging services. Nevertheless, we do want to provide the option to travelers if they strictly want to do that, right? Do you want to have open communication with the hotel, right? This is also what Web3 is about, is being in control of your data, being in control of your life, of your digital identity. Basically running away from being bombarded by emails, with emails. So if they want to do that, go for it. Nevertheless, we do recognize that as an accommodation provider, there's some important information that you want to tell, or you want to have the customer journey already starting with certain information, a certain document that they will have to fill in for example, visa purposes, and that can all be enabled, after they make a reservation. That's not a problem. Obviously, when they arrive and they show the token ID or the QR code of the reservation they made, the normal check-in procedure commences, right? Just like you have any regular guest checking in. Despite you don't have the first name and the last name of the guest, right? You are entitled to ask that. Also from a legal perspective, if there's a fire in your hotel, you would have to know. You would have to know who's in your hotel. From a legal perspective, and also in the US and in the UAE for visa purposes, for example. Yeah. Anyone else has?
Yeah. How it works when if I cancel the reservation? It's gonna depend of if I pay with near, and when I cancel it's down or up. I don't know. In this case, how it's gonna work?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be the same. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just because you mentioned because of the coin, but that's a stable coin. It doesn't go higher.
But if it's another coin,
but it cannot be. It's a stable
currently
coin.
have to be that one.
So currently, yes, we're working only with the stable coin.
Okay.
Yeah, currently.
Oh, okay. I thought
Nevertheless,
there was more options.
yeah, I mean you could bridge, you could change, you can exchange your any other token, let's say Ethereum, Bitcoin, Near, whatever, to this stable coin, right? You could bridge it, you can transfer it to the other coin. Nevertheless, that's a very good question. So your question is basically, if I understand you correctly, what if the value? Let's say we accept Ethereum, a different coin that fluctuates, that's not stable, and you want to cancel at 1 week later, and that value is already. Yeah, that's a very good question. Not sure right now, but we're aiming to go towards multi-chain. So indeed, providing the possibility. It could be that that could be a limitation of booking, with a certain coin. A disclaimer for the guest, not on the explanation side, but if you prefer to pay with this token, right? Keep in mind this is not a stable coin. This could fluctuate, and you could not receive the initial money that you invested.
Yeah.
That could be. I'm not sure, but it's one of the possibilities. Yeah.
But is there a cancellation policy within WIN? So you go on the platform, you book the room, but then, and then you get the NFT as your confirmation. But then, if you want to cancel that, how does it go from the platform perspective?
Sure, yeah, good question. So the next iteration, the next version, it's a very funny question because in, I believe 2018, I forget the percentage, but the majority of the bookings on Booking.com, they published in their own report, got cancelled. It's a huge problem for accommodation providers that you get constantly cancellations at your hotel because there's no consequence. So the next iteration will be, I believe it's going to have 3 options: 1 week, 3 days, 4 days, and then 2 days, something like that. And you could, opt that as an accommodation provider to have a cancellation policy on, and travelers can, just like in Web2 solutions, cancel their booking. But the good thing is that with using the blockchain, using these smart contracts, right? That goes instantly, right? You don't have to communicate with the guest. Can we please cancel this reservation? No, it's very clear. It's coded in these smart contracts, in these automated procedures, right? The smart contracts. That X days before the arrival date, travelers can get 100%. Okay, 5 days, 50%, whatsoever. And that's all automated, right? So it will be a seamless cancellation journey, which also benefits the accommodation provider, and both the accommodation provider and the traveler.
And I would love to add that there is a nice solution for that as well, which is secondary market. So basically, you have an NFT, which represents the booking, and you put it back to the market. And imagine this is an NFT from you, and this is from hotel for the same, like for 2 rooms that are alike for the same days. And when someone is going to book, they can choose yours or from the hotel. It doesn't matter, and you can sell it.
Okay.
So it goes, and you didn't cancel, but you sold your room to someone else. That's it.
Now the travelers that we have, they mostly, it's often cases when they call to change their reservation, they want to just interact sort of with the hotel. How did you envision that this will happen when you have an NFT and you can, how, from a technological perspective?
Sure. So you're saying if you want to change the reservation?
Just adjustments in the reservation, whatever. They want different dates. They prefer, because it's how they're used to nowadays, to just call the hotel and not to go and change. Did you envision this, or?
So for the second version, not yet. Not yet. You would. They're dynamic. So what you currently have is static NFTs, right? So, for example, board apes or whatsoever. But what is also currently coming up is dynamic NFTs, right? That you can change in certain things, certain inputs that you can change. And one of those things could be the arrival date or the departure date, check-in time, additional products or whatsoever. You could indeed, we're aiming towards changing that later on, and not initially. We wouldn't have to cancel an entire NFT. So that will indeed be possible. Okay. Yeah, for sure. That's a good question.
Yeah, just from a traveler perspective, I was thinking. So a lot of us are very loyal to our loyalty programs, and if the Bonvoy we want the benefits that we go there. So if there's a Bonvoy hotel or a Discovery hotel on this platform, do you still earn those points that you would earn by booking directly through them, and do you still get the same benefits for your tier that you have?
Yeah, good question. So how it currently works, right, is if you don't book through a direct website like Bonvoy or Marriott or NH, where you guys work, and at least in my understanding, my experience, you wouldn't get those points because you don't book directly, or you would have only certain benefits. And we're not saying that direct booking is bad. This whole idea and this whole product comes from the vision of book direct as possible, book peer to peer. But at the end of the day, you're going to need a marketplace, an aggregator, or some place where you can see all hotels, where you can compare whether it's on personal preference or location or price whatsoever. And then we say, okay, look, as a traveler, book as direct as possible, book on direct website, it's fine. But we know that's not really going to happen, or we don't envision that to be the solution for travel. This could eventually be even cheaper than your own website. Right? Envision a reservation that has to go through a booking tool on your own website that already costs money, right? Plus somebody books with Amex 4%. You're paying 4%, and with Bing 1% if you handle your own crypto. That all depends on how are you going to use your crypto, right? In hopefully a couple of years you can pay your suppliers or your energy bill or whatsoever with cryptocurrencies, and you don't have to convert it to euros, to dollars, whatever. So if we keep it in the loop, if we keep it in the crypto loop, and you don't have to convert as well to any other coins, it could be very beneficial for website for the entire industry.
Yeah. I know this is like a kind of a proactive question in the whole Web3 community, but we are super happy that we don't need to go through any borders, but in the end we are luckily living in a more or less very democratic system, which has some rules which are also, from my point of view, pretty good in many cases. So all those tax and other regulating stuff, we are basically like jumping over them, which doesn't really matter because it's like 5 people using crypto, but as soon as it's catching rhythm, I think there are really issues that need to be solved, right? Because if I do some direct booking and I jump over any tax regulation from my country, which is beautiful for me, but it's threatening for society.
Yeah.
In the end. So how do you? This is also something that we are like starting to think about.
Yeah.
But your volumes, I guess, are way bigger. That's why. How are you going to tackle those issues? How are you thinking about that?
Sorry, could you rephrase the question?
Like the question is, how do you like? Are you aware, or do you think? Do you have a strategy how to tackle that, or do you just say that that's not our problem, tax is their problem? And
so how we're approaching it, and we actually have our own legal. We have a lawyer, Christina, that specializes in crypto and negotiation. She works full time with us to advise on these things, because at the end of the day, it's a super new space, and even regulators. I mean, we had a talk at Barcelona yesterday, the first talk for me at least at a crypto conference where regulators come, which is very interesting because the markets are all down, and now they come. It's funny that we now get this attention of regulators, right? But there hasn't been clear legislation on it. Nevertheless, how we see it and how we treat it, it is as any other income. It will be revenue for the hotel that you would have to declare the tax. So you would have to convert it or you would have to provide the market value of that coin. For example, in Holland, you would have to do as of the 1st of January, take that value of the 1st of January, and then pay taxes over that, over that value. It's like any kind of like any other income.
What they did with the banking system?
Sorry.
What they did with the banking system, like those countries who were not going to participate, Switzerland, Andorra, and all those countries that have like a very heavy past as a tax paradise, basically they forced them, if you don't join us, you won't make business with us anymore. So that was not like their decision. So in that case, it's the banks who were forced to participate, and that's how they found out that people have so much on their bank account. Right. If it's only about me that I have to declare, it's maybe I do, or not.
It's difficult.
These are just the issues like for the future. Like we're here, and for example, today I was talking to a guy from French DAO, and he said like, cool idea to book with crypto, but I won't do it because if I book from France with crypto, he has to pay tax for it. If you keep crypto, it's fine. You are not using it according to the French laws. But if you start paying it, it's kind of you converting it. So from the amount that you converted, you have to pay tax. That was he said like, and again, it's in the European Union. Yeah. So every country has its own, but like we cannot. Yeah, like we cannot know all these legislation things, and they are going to change for sure.
But all these questions, for example, due to that we have the resources to also answer these questions with the lawyer, for example, we're all going to tackle these also in the course and education program. How to identify these tax problems, how to get it to euro, how to whatsoever in the most efficient way. So these are, from A to Z, we will cover in the course for accommodation providers because it's important, right? It's yeah,
cool
for sure.
And moreover, like we encourage like everyone who has experience in something, who can come to work with us or to like somehow help and bring this value and education, because like let us remember that Windetry is a public good, it's a non-profit company. So, and it's open source. So basically what you can do, you can copy paste the code that is going to be there and open your, I don't know, Barcelona travel Web3, community and build like over it. And you can provide the legislation information and educate and so on and so forth. So that's the vision, and it's cool that you raised these questions. And we, as Vincent mentioned, yeah, we're gonna work on them.
Not only it was like because we also know the question and we're moving the question. It's a big question of interest.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? That's it. Yeah,
tired.
Long session. We're going to go to have some drinks.
Yes, if we just go next room, we have some drinks there.
Yeah.
So to have a beer and a glass of wine, something like this to
unwind.
all the information.
To start the weekend.
To start the weekend. Yeah.
And thank you very much for being with us. Before, like, since I'm responsible for the content afterwards, I would love everyone to together for a picture, group picture, historical picture, because in some 10 years we'll be remembering these things.
Sure.
Sure.